Today I choose to follow you.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 4th of November. It's Coffee with God. Men have had a fellowship this morning already, and I've got a nice condensed milk coffee here. So sometimes I do have milk in my coffee, but then I go full hog and have condensed milk as well. Still remains true. If you make it yourself, you know you'll like it. If you have your Bibles, turn to Matthew chapter 18, verse 10. Matthäus 18, vers 10. Baie interessante, dis die gelykenis van die verlore skaap, the parable of the lost sheep. But it starts with an interesting verse. Listen to this. See that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I tell you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. Now, it's scriptures like this and a couple of others that kind of lend us to believe and to expect that we're given guardian angels who are involved in our life in some way. And, there's the old story of the little boy who is incredibly adventurous and is always climbing trees and rooftops and at one stage his aunt is sitting talking to his mother and says, I don't know how you can be so calm and relaxed. You allow your little boy to play in such dangerous places, and yet here he is, he's still alive and he's safe. And the mother replies, yes, to us he looks okay, but I'd hate to see what his guardian angel looks like. This poor guy must have been working overtime to just keep this little boy safe. Now, I don't know how angels are involved. I know that the Lord uses angels. I know that he sends angels out to minister, to be involved in our lives. And I know that there are myriads, hundreds of thousands of angels whose sole purpose in life, whose sole glory in life is to serve the Lord, to be of service. One of the saints once said, an angel sent to rule a kingdom or to sweep a street leaves God's presence with the same joy, because it's not what he does, it's serving that pleases him. And what I want to say to you, just be aware of God's presence. We talk about the Holy Spirit involved in our life. We talk about God never leaving us, never forsaking us. But you need to remember that angels are also sent to be a part of our lives, to be with us, to minister in ways. Another scripture tells us, be kind to strangers. You never know. You may be entertaining an angel in disguise. So the thought this Friday is, as we go into the week and the weekend, and Lord willing, you get into a service, that you won't forget just how God is involved in your life and the many ways in which he practically helps us. Remember, Isaiah was facing an enemy army, and his servant says to him, we're outnumbered. And Isaiah says to him, don't worry, there are more for us than those against us. And he asks that the spiritual eyes of Gehazi gets opened, and he sees the chariots of angels and the army of the Lord, the host of the Lord, encamped on the hills behind the enemies that were facing them. And that just reminds me again, to hold on to what you believe, not what you see. Hold on to what you know, not what you see. Because remember, there's a spiritual realm and there are angels in service of the Lord, busy in your life. How and how many and how often and what do they exactly do? Well, trust God that he sends enough to do what needs to be done. And they're also actively involved in everything that happens around you. So you're never really alone. That's why we say, God plus me is a majority. Doesn't matter how many people are sitting against me. God plus me is a majority. If he needs to send a host of angels, if he needs to send a platoon, a troop, a company of angels, I don't care. He's got them at his disposal, and he uses them. See that you do not despise one of these little ones. Sometimes when we look at ourselves, we feel so small, we feel so little. God says, don't despise the littleness. For I tell you that in heaven, their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. God's with us in many and various forms and ways. Think about that. Have a wonderful Friday, wonderful weekend. Get into a service and be a blessing to those. Don't just go to receive, go to give of yourself and your abilities, your talents, your treasure, your personality, your loving smile. Make a cup of coffee for someone at church and sit and have a chat about the sermon after the service over a cup of coffee with someone. Be a blessing. And Lord willing, we'll see you Monday.